Hi guys, welcome to Hope's Instant Kitchen. Today we're making a quick and easy hamburger soup. So here are the ingredients that you will need. I have 3 large carrots here that I have peeled and I'm going to cut them up. We have some Better Than Bouillon beef bouillon base, so we're going to make some beef broth with that. Some ground beef, a can of peas and a can of corn. We're going to open these and drain them. A whole onion we're going to dice up. Some chopped up garlic. I have 4 russet potatoes here. I'm going to peel these and dice them up. Some elbow macaroni. I'm not going to use this entire bag, and it's completely optional. You don't have to add that if you don't want to. For seasonings, I have some salt, some black pepper, onion powder, Italian seasoning, some parsley, and garlic powder. You'll also need 1 packet of Lipton, either onion soup or the onion mushroom flavor is fine. Just 1 little pouch of the dry soup mix. Okay, so I have my carrots and potatoes chopped up. Potatoes, we want them to be pretty chunky in size because we don't want them to turn into mush in the Instant Pot. I also have my onion diced up ready to go. And I've already put my ground beef into the Instant Pot. I did not put any oil of any kind in there. And we are going to plug the Instant Pot in and hit the saute button and start to brown our ground beef. So our meat is in our Instant Pot. We're going to come down to our control panel and hit the saute button. The Instant Pot will start to heat up and our meat will begin to cook. Now we want to make sure that our meat is extremely flavorful, so we're going to add in some seasoning to our meat. And also we want to kind of break it up with our spoon. So let's go ahead and add our seasonings. I'm going to add in some salt. And you can do this to taste, so add as much or as little as you want. Black pepper. We want a good bit of seasoning in here. Onion powder. Some Italian seasoning in here. Dried parsley flakes. And some garlic powder. Give that meat a lot of flavor. Now we're going to stir it and let this saute. It doesn't have to be completely cooked because it will continue to cook during the pressure cook cycle, but we want this to be mostly brown. And this is a very lean ground beef. I think it's 80-20. So there shouldn't be a lot of grease coming out of the ground beef, but if you do have a lot of grease in yours after it's done cooking, go ahead and drain the grease. And as the meat is browning, I'm going to go ahead and add my onions so that they can give the meat some extra flavor. I'll go ahead and add these right in. 1 whole chopped onion. Give these onions a stir. They're just going to add extra flavor to the meat. So when the meat is almost completely browned, we're going to go ahead and add about a teaspoon crushed or minced garlic into our Instant Pot. And give that a stir. And we're going to come down to our control panel and hit the off button. We're going to come down to our control panel and hit the keep warm cancel button. So now what we're going to do is add in our beef broth. I'm using 4 cups of beef broth, which is made with this Better Than Bouillon beef base. You could also buy store-bought, but with this beef base, you're going to use 1 teaspoon per 1 cup of water. So I did 4 teaspoons and 4 cups of water here. So we're going to add in our beef broth. Give that a stir. I'm going to add in an additional 1.5 cups of water to get some more liquid in the pot. Next, we're going to add in our packet of Lipton onion soup. And give that a stir. Okay, so next we're going to add in our potatoes and carrots. We're going to add in our potatoes and carrots here without splashing liquid everywhere. We're also going to add in our canned corn and peas that we have drained. And you can give everything a nice stir. Canned corn. And we are almost to the max fill line on our Instant Pot. You do not want to pass the max fill line here. Add our canned peas here that we have drained. And last but not least, we're going to add in a little bit of macaroni to our Instant Pot. Okay, so I have added in my 3 cups of beef broth. I've also added in about 1.5 cups of extra liquid. And once you pour your potatoes and vegetables in, the level of the Instant Pot is going to rise. And there is a line in your Instant Pot. There's a max fill line that you do not want to go over. So once we add in our macaroni, we'll be really close to that max line. So we're going to add in a little bit of macaroni noodles, not the whole bag here. This is a 1 pound bag, and I'm going to add about half of it in here. And we're going to give this a stir, and that is going to be everything that we can fit into this pot. It is a full pot. So get that mixed in. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh parsley on top, and then we're going to put our lid on the Instant Pot. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh parsley on top for added flavor. It's optional, you don't have to add anything extra, but why not? Alright, now we're ready to add our lid. Make sure your pressure valve is on sealing, not on venting, so that your pot will come to pressure. We're going to come down here to our control panel. We're going to hit the manual button, and we're going to go for 4 minutes. That's it. So I'll see you back here once the 4 minutes is up. We're now going to hit the keep warm cancel button. And we're going to go ahead and perform a quick release, which means you go ahead and turn your pressure valve from sealing to venting to release the pressure. Alright, so now that our pin has dropped, we can go ahead and remove the lid from our Instant Pot. And I just want you to note that when you're making soup, or when your Instant Pot is extremely full, like it was with this soup, it is going to take longer for your pot to come to pressure and to release the pressure. So allow a little bit of extra time for that. So let's see what we're looking like here. Alright, so I have here my ladle. And the macaroni should be perfectly cooked. The potatoes, everything should be cooked, but not mushy where it's falling apart. A lot of that extra liquid that we had in our Instant Pot was soaked up by the noodles and the potatoes. So there you have our hamburger soup. Now, we're going to go on to our Instant Pot Vortex air fryer oven and make some biscuits to go with the hamburger soup. Alright, so I have shown this guy before on my channel. This is the Instant Pot Vortex Plus air fryer oven. This has several different features and functions. What we're going to do is go ahead and open this up. We have our drip tray in the bottom. It also comes with these 2 other non-stick trays, so very easy to clean. And what we're going to do is just open a can of Pillsbury biscuits. We're going to pop 4 on each tray, and we're going to put these in here on bake for 350, and it's only going to take about 7 to 8 minutes to cook. But what you want to do is rotate the racks about halfway through the cooking time so that they do cook evenly, because the ones that are on the top rack will start to brown a lot quicker than the ones on the bottom rack. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to open our canned biscuits here. can of biscuits open. And we're going to place 4 biscuits on each rack. So here we go. Again, these are non-stick, so there's no need to spray any cooking spray of any kind. I usually just set them on like this. 4 on each one. I love using the vortex instead of the oven because it heats up a lot quicker than the oven would. So here we go. We have our 4 biscuits on each rack. Now we're going to come up here to our control panel, and you can see the different functions here. We're going to hit the bake function, and they disappeared because I closed the door. We're going to hit the bake button. We're going to select our temperature. We're going to go to 350. We're going to select our time. We're going to go down to, and excuse the noise, my kids are outside playing in the backyard making all kinds of noise, if you can hear that. I'm going to go for 8 minutes and just keep an eye on them. So we're going to press the start button after we've selected our temperature, time, and our mode. You'll hear it beep, and it's actually going to beep when it's ready for you to add the food. It has to preheat first, but it doesn't take very long to preheat. Alright, so now it is flashed to add food, and it is beeping for us to add our food. So we're going to put 1 rack on the top, and there are 3 little slots where you can add your trays. There's a upper slot, a middle slot, and a lower slot there. And because when the biscuits rise, they would hit each other, I'm going to go ahead and put 1 rack on the top, 1 on the bottom, and just check them and swap them out in about 3 to 4 minutes. Alright, so we are at the 4-minute mark, which is halfway through the cook time that I selected of 8 minutes. And we're going to check on these. You can see the ones on the top are already browning beautifully in just 4 minutes of cooking time. So now what we're going to do is remove the ones on the bottom and place these on the top rack with a pair of tongs or a dish towel because these racks are obviously hot. These will go into the bottom and finish cooking on the inside. So here we go. 4 more minutes. Alright guys, so once the Instant Vortex is done cooking, it'll beep 3 times and it will say end on the screen up here. And what we have here are some beautifully golden baked biscuits on 350 degrees for 8 minutes. Now I wouldn't leave the ones that are on the top in here for too long because if you do, they're right up under the heating element and they might get too cooked. So I would pull them out soon after they're done. Alright, so here's how I'm serving my hamburger soup and biscuits. I have topped the soup with some cheese, and it will be melting soon because the soup was rather hot. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that you can be notified each time I post a video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.